What is up, guys? I know this is old news right now, but Magic banned some cards in the past few days.
I think we should just upload this one today.
Magic banned some cards today. Attune with Aether, Vicious Rescuedon, Dinosaur Dude.
Voracious Rampant.
The red dinosaur that players can't get in game life. And
Ferocious Rampatiodon. Now I can't remember the name because he got it so bad.
Should I stop the video here? Or...
No, keep going.
Okay. Attune with Aether, not Aether Hub. What was the last card?
The draw support guy that I literally use.
Oh, Rogue Refiner?
I have 2 decks in standard, everyone. 2 decks. I play a green-blue Pummeler, and I play Ramen Up Red. Yes, I even made this awesome box. I read an article last week by Melissa comparing energy to affinity and how it's totally unfair, and whenever Magic makes a new resource, people find a way to break it. And things are hard and this and that. And they said they were going to do some energy bannings to try and make it more fair. And they compared it to affinity. So they had a lot of things that sound like they were going to pull out of it. I was figuring the big 5 were going to be gone. I was thinking it was going to be Aether Hub, Attune with Aether, Bristling Hydra, Electrostatic Pummeler, and Long Tusk Cub.
Yeah.
I figured it was any of those.
And that was it.
We got Attune with Aether taken out.
Good.
And what else did we lose in energy?
An
Rogue Refiner.
Aether Hub.
No, we didn't lose Aether Hub.
I thought it was in.
Nope, they only banned 4 cards.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And this is what made me mad. Attune with Aether. It was a turn 1. It was a land fetch. You got 2 energy. And it helped you get your energy early out. It was run in every big popular deck that ran energy. Because green is in every energy deck because of this card. Getting rid of that one, it made a lot of sense. Attune with Aether because it was color fixing for an energy that one energy doesn't do too much. Like, that made sense to pull out. Bristling Hydra because you got the hexproof and it was in every deck and it was usually your win cause. That would have made sense to ban. But they didn't get rid of Bristling Hydra or the Aether Hub. They got rid of this one card that you get 2 energy and you get to draw a card. 90% of the time, he was countered or killed before I actually even got to have him fully on the field.
And before we even finished that deck, we put in another card that gave you 3 energy instead of 2 for the same cost. And it worked.
So it's like, if she's countered most of the time before she resolves, she's not that great. I mean, she does help, but it's a big draw if you draw into that thing that you need. What are your odds in 60? Yeah, I mean, I guess since you were thinning out 4 cards, you were a little bit closer with these, but...
That's about it. And the other 2 cards, the Ramen Ruins and the Rampaging Ferociodon, I feel like they got rid of more answers to problems than they did problems themselves.
I had not heard anyone ever complain to me that my Ramen Up wasn't fair. It was too powerful for the meta.
I understand that Ferociodon could be considered broken.
Rivals is coming out, guys. It's all about merfolks and vampires. And what do vampires do? They suck your life.
There's a lot of lifelink going on, so I can understand why that's a ban before a problem happens. But I don't see a problem with that because, yes,
he's got 3 health. He's susceptible to lightning strike, any kill spell. It's not like he gets hexproof.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways around him. He's not hard to kill.
He was only really running Ramen Up Red, too. As you're, I'm just going to stop my opponent from gaining life when you're smacking him quick.
Wasn't it like Energy Snake, too? Or whatever it was? That weird deck that no one played, but apparently that was the reason why it got banned?
Yeah, I was looking at the listings of its matchups against something, and there was one called Sultai Snakes. I'm like, I've never seen this competitively.
Yeah.
I play with a very competitive meta every Friday night. I've always done okay with red. At first, I was always usually getting into the top 3, And you know what? The last month, I'm usually in the top 5 with that. So that's when I started playing the Simic Pummeler. Store Championship, especially because I said I'm not going to be able to play Energy after this Friday. I decided I'm going to play it one last time. I got second place. You know who beat me? An 11-year-old kid. An 11-year-old kid beat me. So how is Energy that broken that it needed so many possible bans, Melissa? But yet you take away 2 cards. You take away one that I do admit was kind of a big threat, and it was running every deck. But it was also common, so anyone could get it. Anyone could learn how to use it.
Which one?
My Attune with Aether.
Oh, yeah.
It was printed in the starter deck.
Again, I feel like... you know what's really stupid about that? Now a kid's going to buy the starter deck, and then they can't play it at Friday Night Magic.
Yep.
Like it's supposed to be played.
Then Rogue Refiner, he's an uncommon. He's pretty good, I'll admit. He's not expensive. He's not crazy.
He's not Cub.
He's not a Fatal Push,
He's not Cub. Cub was a card to ban.
Cub was also in the starter deck. Cub was very broken turn 2 if you're playing an all-energy-based deck, yeah. He helped you get a lot of energy early on, or he was a big threat that your opponent had to answer.
Hydra was a little bit slow, but that would have been a good card to ban
Hydra
too.
was not slow. You got it turn 4 every time.
You got to turn...
And then you started protecting it every time. The problem is it's so evasive, because, nope. I play one little spell, so you can't counter me out, and now after that, now that I've resolved, I can get hexproof whenever, so you're not going to kill me.
Yeah.
That was the problem with Blistering Hydra, and you printed a lot. You made Bristling Hydra the most accessible card. You just saw, or you're going to see in the future, that we're going to open a blister pack of all, not even only modern legal packs, but yet you're still giving away Blistering Hydras at Walmart for $9,
Yeah. The Ruins makes no sense to me to ban because there's a negative side to it that you have to sacrifice your land to deal damage.
And it's 2 damage.
It's a shock that costs you really 5.
I've played Ramunap for a while. The only time I've ever actually had to use Ramunap to ping off my land to get a win on an opponent was to play a very well built control deck. And it's, okay, we're a little bit too locked in. As soon as I play a new creature, it's either murdered off right away or countered. This is my only way to get the last few damage because I had them at low health.
Yeah.
But even that, they're a control deck. I sacrifice my land if I'm off short. Like, I'm not going to win. So it's a very iffy thing for me to do that. And, the longer the game goes on with control, all of a sudden, now they have an overwhelming chance to beat me. Control decks, I hate to say it, 40% of the time I won. 60% of the time, control was just a little bit too long-lasting for me to be able to answer.
How do you feel? What do you feel is going to happen?
Especially with the thing that essence extraction, this and that. That's what kept them, or the counterbrand Kingpin, where they just got a little bit of life gain, and I needed that for Oshadon to even stand a chance. Now that I can't even utilize that as well as the Ramunap, you broke my deck. It's not fun. I'm not rich.
Where do you feel like Standard's going to go after the banning? I already read a bunch of forums, and a lot of you guys are pretty PO'd about it.
Standard's gonna be the Wild West for a long time, and Magic, you've had a problem the last couple of years about you having the lowest comeback of Standard players. Less and less people are showing up.
This didn't help it.
No, it didn't.
This made matters a lot worse.
You're putting all this emphasis on the Pro Tour for modern stuff now because you hadn't done it in a while, and I'm proud of that.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Modern. I'm really happy to see the Pro Tour's back on. I'm really happy for a bunch of other things about Modern.
A lot of people in my local game store, I will admit, were throwing fits about Energy, and there were some new players saying, I'd rather play Modern. Because even though I'm going to lose to something different every week. And it's better than just losing to someone playing Energy that I don't fully understand. And part of it's like, you just need to learn Energy. It's not that hard. Second of all,
it's not that great of a deck.
I can kind of seeing it being compared to Affinity, but not fully. Why'd you pick on Red out of nowhere?
Red was never a good... Red is always a 50-50 deck for me. Or for anyone, really. Either it does great and it's winning, or it just gets stomped out really fast.
Yeah.
The reason why Remnant Road actually got big was because no one saw it coming. No one saw a red rush deck running into standard and actually doing something. And after 2-3 weeks, it got shut down. And people just kind of ran it because it still worked half the time, quarter of the time.
I'll use the source MTG Goldfish. It was saying slightly over 10% of the meta was playing it, and that was the second biggest deck, with 8 pro players running it. But yet there was 35% was Temur Energy. Then you had the Simic Pummeler, like I was, or Sultai Pummeler. You have the Red Green, which was a Pummeler deck, running Energy. That was another 5%. You had about 50% of the meta all running a high amount of energy capacities, and even then, some of the smaller qualifying decks in there had energy, even though it wasn't utilized much.
I mean, there was a mono green energy deck that saw some play, but it didn't get any attention.
I've never heard of mono green energy, but like I've seen the energy used in some of the black aggros, and it's like you're not overdoing it now, but if you're gonna ban a mechanic, or write an article making it sound like one mechanic is way too overpowered, don't come in, barely touch it, and then actually hit another main deck without
hit the main cards in the deck too.
Without giving a warning.
Now in red they could have banned Shock, which would have been stupid, but it's a 1-drop that's kind of even for the Attune. They could have banned Chandra because she's seen in a lot of things.
I feel like if they were gonna ban a red thing,
Earthshaker Chandra might be a decent ban.
The Chandra I could have sawn, but she's expensive. People would have thrown a hissy fit. Yeah, maybe even the Hazards, because you know what? Every big red deck, people are playing either Chandra or Hazard.
Yeah. But
kind of like we said, if you're going to ban energy, ban the main problems.
Yeah.
The Attune with Aether was definitely one. The Rogue Refiner, not nearly as much of a problem as the Bristling Hydra or the Cub.
Yeah. Again, the red deck really, it's a good deck. It was kind of fast. It worked 60% of the time, so it wasn't an overwhelming deck.
But I've seen Sultai Pummelers, I've seen Simic Pummelers, I've seen Gruul Pummelers. I've actually even seen a weird kid who tried to pull off a Rakdos Pummeler. It didn't go his way ever, but get rid of some of the cards that there's a crap ton of decks gearing towards. Don't get rid of the little support card. The dinosaur makes me more mad than anything. Even though I made this awesome deck box. Yeah, ramen up red, but now I can't even use my ramen.
You can run this in modern and it would do something. Not in a good store, but in like your casual stores it would do something.
No, if I'm gonna all of a sudden make that into modern, I'm gonna completely take it apart. It's not gonna be ramen up, it's gonna be a good burn deck.
True.
Not a janky, hey, this is, it works in this meta, because there's only so many options in standard. It's fun.
I'm kind of excited to see where this takes standard, because I think a lot of people are going to not ban an energy, but they're going to find ways around it.
Honestly, Magic, I'm pretty disappointed with it.
Actually, I don't think energy's really that affected by this. They only really lost one major card and one meh card.
Exactly. Since everyone's complaining about energy, now I'm going to be more of an angry player because I lost 2 decks from this banning that came out of nowhere. I mean, I was expecting the energy, but all of a sudden destroying my red out of nowhere. I'm going to start playing Pummeler, and I'm going to start doing the Gruul one because it didn't get affected at all. It lost a tune. That's it. We'll put in a Commune with Dinosaur, does the exact same thing. I'm going to be kind of more of a jerk to people, getting less people to play standard. I'm going to tell them, just straight up, complain to Wizards. If they're going to do a ban, tell them to do it right. Don't ban the option that, might get you through, might not. Especially, control decks are taking over the meta right now, currently on the top 8, if you look tonight.
Yeah, if you look, I can see this is what's going to happen.
What do new players want to play? They want to play an aggro fighting deck.
That God Pharaoh deck, it's going to see more play control. Everyone hates control. The black-blue control and the Esper control. No one liked them, but they're going to be seeing more play now. Maybe the tribes will see more play. Probably not, though, because there's no real good tribes yet. They still all need that little push to make it competitive. I'm not 100% sure. There could be a Merfolk deck that's going to blow up out of the water. There could be a Dinosaur deck that's just going to blow out. There's going to be something that could happen. But Energy is still a strong deck right now. You really didn't take care of the problem. You only took care of the answers.
That's exactly what I've been ranting on about. That's why I'm going to start playing Girl Pummeler, and I'm going to be just as much of a jerk. I'm going to start laughing at you. I got my Hydra. You took away very little from me. I still got my Pummeler, and I still got my kitties. Yeah.
Yeah. So, thank you guys for watching. You guys have been great. Hopefully you didn't get 2 decks blown up.
Please, for the plight of me, everyone, can you go complain to MTG and say that you want at least the dinosaur back, or the dinosaur and Rambaling?
They're not gonna unban something.
I don't see it happening. But you know what? They tried to fix this major problem with Energy, and now all of a sudden they barely put a Band-Aid on it, and they took away one of the answers. Yeah. That's not how you do it. Especially how they quickly threw together the band a week before they put out a new set. Like, hey, we're taking away a couple of your toys, but we're going to give you some new ones. Not cool.
I mean, I could have seen that dinosaur maybe doing something in Growl that would be broken. They could have been something that's pretty broken.
When you took away Felindar Guardian, I understood. Too many people right from the get-go were trying to pull off the Cat Lady combo, which wasn't the easiest to do. There's answers, you know.
Negate fixes it.
If you know how to play and you know what you're up against, there's a solution. But I get a lot of people were really trying to break and abuse that combo, and you got rid of the Guardian, you know.
But Energy's been an issue for
close
to a year now.
The Smuggler's Copter, a lot of people were overusing it, and like I understood, I didn't complain, I didn't say a thing.
I didn't play it, so...
The Aetherworks Marvel, I didn't really play stands at the time, so I can't really say anything about that either. But when you make a big article saying that Energy's going away, have fun with it the last week while you can, and then you barely touch it, and then you actually hurt something that's near and dear to a smaller number of people's hearts, that's kind of being a big old jerk.
Also... Red Dex has been around more or less since Alpha. Red is kind of its own build by itself. It's such a weird color that
Red's supposed to play quick, it's supposed to take damage, it's the color of emotion.
Yeah, it's been around
You give me one card that finally helps me do my job. Because the number one problem against playing a red, any kind of burn deck
was health
is people gaining life. And, you know, the Ferocidon, very easy to answer. But it can save you in some of those key moments. You're taking that away from me. I'm not happy about that.
It's almost equivalent to banning Platinum Angel Modern.
And it's not like he was one of those crazy priced cards that a lot of people were upset because people were playing him. Because only the real players that have disposable income can get it. He was a $2 card.
Yeah.
He's not expensive.
And he wasn't that rare, but rare. He was in like 1 in every 6 packs, something like that.
Even in my Ramen Up Red, you know, most people play 4. I played 2. That's all I had, you know. If I got some more, cool. If not, I wasn't going to go out and buy them. My local game store has just 2 sitting in the case chilling. Now they're probably sitting there really whining. Oh, no, these are never going to sell.
They're decent in Modern. Again, if you're playing Burn in Modern, they're almost worth picking up to sideboard them.
No, they're just... They're okay in Modern.
They're good sideboard cards in Modern.
Yeah, I mean, even then, they are really susceptible to getting killed.
Yeah, they die from everything. Like, Mirror Matches, Lightning Strike kills it, Embrace kills it, Lightning Bolt kills it, 2 Shocks kill it, you know, whatever.
Essence Extraction.
Essence Extraction, Black.
Those are just the standard options, too. Yeah. There's so much.
Insert blue counter card here, kills it. You know, there's a lot of things that...
Yeah, bounce it, you know.
Bounce it, then counter it. There's a lot of things that can just get rid of it.
So destroy target attacking creature, draw a card, you know.
It wasn't that
a lot of stuff.
Big of a deal. But it's a big deal you banned it because it was a
equalizer. It was a big answer to my deck.
It was a big answer for a lot of things. it wasn't necessarily a problem. It was just a solution against problems.
Let's go way back, Magic. Look at Jay Speller and how everyone was running. It was a 4-option Planeswalker, and you haven't done much, but it was running almost everything really competitive in the meta at the time. It made sense for you to ban it. Look at Chandra. Chandra cost a ton.
She's like 30 right now. Yeah, she's around 30.
Most of the competitive decks say to put 2 to 4 in the sideboard. Either 2 in the main board, 2 in the sideboard. She's running anything standard that's running red.
She's seen a lot of modern play too.
I would have understood why you banned her, and like as I said, the Bristling Hydra, because almost anything in standard really competitive is running red or green, or both. But no, it's whatever. Get rid of the dinosaur. It gives us a really fun answer that's also really answerable. Chandra is not nearly as answerable.
No, Chandra's actually pretty hard to answer.
You know, any new players just scoop right on me when I play Chandra. That's why I keep her on the sideboard. Because most of the time I actually just want to have an interaction with people. And even when they tell me that my red deck's too powerful, you know what? They always say I'd rather play against that than going against control deck. But now I'm going to build a turn 40 control deck so they can sit there and not get a single interaction after turn 3, feel totally controlled, and say I'm too stupid for this game.
Which is going to more or less happen with every single meta of every single small store, medium-sized store. The big stores are probably going to see a lot more play, but that's probably about it. I think we rambled on enough for this video. Thank you guys for watching.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.
There might be an updated video for this in the near future if we feel like if bands get changed or anything else.
We'll try and do one next week too. I'll try and bring up how my first FNM happened since the bands, since I played standard at a pretty competitive store.
Yeah.
Especially there's not much in my area, so people who are playing Magic to play Magic know what they're doing. Go to my store.
Well, kind of. There's another store that no one likes because it's old and try-hard monkeys who don't talk to you and just kind of...
My store is building up so much every week it'll be the #1 store in the area. I give it another 3 months tops.
I give it like a year or 2.
I don't.
The other store has like 30 years under his belt. That's hard to fight.
Yeah, but more and more every week we're getting 2 new people, and a lot of it's because they went over there one time, played, and didn't like it.
That's true. That'd be another video someday about us complaining about different stores we've been to. So thank you guys for watching.
So if you're going to go to a cool store, though, go to Chicopee, go to my friend AJ's Games. You can have a fun time there at the store. What's up, AJ? We missed you. Haven't seen you in months, but, we're still shouting you out. I want you to remember that.
Sorry we couldn't make it down this winter like we wanted to.
And then, keep going out, keep looking to your small businesses, try and help them out. As always, because I was talking about my local game store, go help out the small guy. And just remember, don't buy your packs at Walmart. If you do, you're not a real Magic player. You're a jerk.
Unless you absolutely have to. We understand there's some times where it's...
If you live in an area where you don't have a local game store and you want to play the game that bad...
You have like a high school club or something.
Try and buy from a small business online.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't support the big retailers that don't support you.
You can't play Magic at your local Walmart or Target. You can play Magic at your local game store. Or your local high school club or something like that. If you guys are in high school or college...
Buy your sealed product from stores that you buy your singles.
Yeah.
If you can't buy singles anywhere near you, and you have to resort to online buying, that's also where you order your sealed product.
I recommend TCG Player because it's fast, easy,
and they ship it from the small stores that have all signed up and helped.
Yeah, and I normally get packages within like 5 days, 3 to 5 days, so it's always decent timing.
Yeah.
But where I was going with that was if you're a high school student or a college student and you don't have a local game store, make a club. Get more people into the game that are your friends. Just try to play Modern.
Yep.
So thank you guys for watching. You guys have been great. Have a great one. Bye-byes.
Rar.